Hello, my name is Mandy Lents Dixon. For 13 years, from 4th grade through college, I played basketball and softball for 8 of those years. I was a middle school Yellow Jacket, a high school Lady Rebel, and a college Lady Lion. Those years were and will always be very special to me. Not only was I doing something I loved, I made friends that are still dear to me today, and memories I wouldn't trade for anything. Anyone that knows me will tell you that I'm rather shy by nature, but when it comes to competition, I'm a different person, whether playing or coaching. My parents said that even as a young child, I was very competitive, always having to win. Throughout those years, my parents, Joe and Ray Lynch, were right there with me, supporting me, and enjoying watching me play. My mother was my biggest critic, and my daddy, my biggest fan. In high school, my daddy started calling me Sweet Pea as a joke and to aggravate me. At first, I didn't like it, but soon when I made a good shot or good pass, I always looked forward to hearing him yell, "Way to go, Sweet Pea." There are so many moments in my basketball career that stand out to me that it's hard to name just a few. Definitely going to state in 89 and 90 as a junior, being in the top 8 in the state, scoring over 1,000 points in high school, getting a scholarship to Piedmont College, and scoring over 1,500 points are some of the most memorable. I will never forget the feeling among the team, at the school, and in the community as we were preparing to play Crim in the Final 16. There was excitement and pride that our school had never felt in a long time. When we beat Crim and then lost to Putnam in the Final 8, we still had this feeling that the next year would be ours. We were primed to go all the way, but it was just not meant to be. Circumstances beyond our control. It started with an injured foot, a bad call that made the difference between winning and losing. Ref even told us after the game that he missed the call. Ended our season. All of a sudden, basketball was over. It was a hard blow for us as a team. It took me a long time to get over it. Luckily, though, I would get to play 4 more years at Piedmont College and make new friends and new memories. As I look back on my years of being coached by the infamous Johnny Farmer, I realize how much he taught me and how much I respect him for being tough on us and urging us to always do our best. Coach Farmer, had I not had you as my coach, I'd probably never have gone to continue playing basketball at Piedmont College. Thank you, Coach Farmer, for being the coach you were. Some teams were just teams to beat, but there were other teams that we had a special grudge or rivalry against. Gilmer was one of those. We had this drive to beat Gilmer, Basin, and for some reason White County. White and Gilmer always gave us a good game, and beating them was more satisfying. Ironically, my husband, Brad Dixon, was a White County Warrior, but he's a Fannin Rebel now. I remember one game that especially stands out. It was against Murphy. The last quarter I scored 22 points, a total of 37 points for the night, and we still lost. Being only 5'8" and having to play post is definitely a disadvantage. My mother had shown me a hook shot that T.J. Thompson shot back in their basketball days. I practiced it and used it quite frequently when I was faced with a really tall opponent. It also makes a player feel good when they're recognized for the things they do well, and I was no exception. Being the MVP, Northwest Tip-Off Club Player of the Year, and the leading scorer and rebounder on the team were things I was proud of. Our Lady Rebel softball team was not bad either. We won the sub-region and region twice in 88 and 89, and made it to the Final 8 in the state tournament. I was a starting left fielder for 3 years in softball, and over my 4-year career, we compiled a record of 83 wins and 23 losses. When I left for Piedmont College, my parents were just as loyal as they were in high school. I was going to be playing basketball and softball for the Lady Lions. Every game they could make, they were there. I was still my daddy's Sweet Pea. I loved hearing it and wished I still could. My last year at Piedmont, my daddy was going to retire from the Georgia State Patrol. He and my mother were already planning to go where the team went and hopefully not miss a game. But it was not to be. In July of 1993, my daddy was diagnosed with lung cancer, and in a short 5 months, he was gone. After my daddy died, I didn't want to go back to school or play ball, but mother said my daddy would want me to finish my education and continue to play ball because he loved seeing me play so much. So I went back, and it was at Shorter College with my mother and my brother Jeff that I scored my 1,500 points. The game had stopped, and a moment of silence was taken in memory of my daddy. As they handed me the ball, I didn't know how you could be so sad and yet so proud at the same time, but I was. I felt like my daddy knew, and he was saying, "Way to go, Sweet Pea." At Piedmont, I was also named the MVP and Best Offensive Player my junior and senior year in basketball. My sophomore year, we were ranked 10th among the nation's small colleges and missed a trip to the national tournament. I also continued to play softball in college, and my freshman year, we posted a 40-0 record. I started in the outfield and was a leadoff hitter for 4 years. I graduated from Piedmont with a BA degree in middle school education. Since then, I have gotten my master's degree. When I came home from Piedmont, I got a job at Fannin County Middle School, where I continue to teach to this day. I always thought I wanted to come back and coach in Fannin County. I was given the 9th grade boys head coach position and assistant on the boys varsity with Coach Paul. It was during this time that I decided that coaching may not be for me. I'm so competitive that I couldn't sleep or let the loss go, and it was consuming my time. So at that time in my life, I decided it was time to start a family, and Brad and I were married that year. My husband Brad and I have been married for 20 years now, and we have 2 children, a son, River, who's a junior at Fannin High, and a daughter, Jade, who is in 6th grade at the middle school. Brad and I have remained very active in sports through our children. We sometimes have a hard time juggling it all. Our son River is a high school junior and plays football, basketball, and baseball. Jade plays basketball and softball. Brad and I are so very proud of the things that River and Jade have accomplished in their time of playing sports. I'm humbled to have been inducted into the Fannin County Sports Hall of Fame and to be part of such an elite group. I'd like to say a special thanks to my family, my former coaches, and the members of the Hall of Fame.